This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
You can't just have people live like this, no matter if they're upper income, middle income, or what. Nobody should have to live like this.
New at 11 o'clock, frustrated residents are afraid they will have to wait days before they get help with a serious flooding problem. Indianapolis Animal Care Services is running out of space, but they hope a new program will keep pets and their owners together, even if they're struggling. Thanks for joining us here at 11 o'clock. I'm Nicole Griffin. A windy day has turned into a very cold night, colder than we felt in a long time. Here's Storm Team 6 meteorologist Kyle Mounts.
And Nicole, we are in a temperature free fall that just continues and isn't going to stop until we get into tomorrow morning. Our temperature now 22 degrees after being in the middle 40s this afternoon. It feels like 5 though, and check out the wind chills in Lafayette and Peru, dropping below 0 because of those gusty west winds. Most areas under 40 miles per hour, the exception Kokomo, and I think it is going to stay breezy here through the overnight. We'll still have those gusts between 30 and 40 miles per hour, and through much of our Sunday, still some of those gusts around 30 miles per hour. So we're going to have to factor that in with the already cold temperatures. We're squeezing out a few flurries and brief snow showers now that we've got that Arctic area in place. Not going to be adding up to anything for us. And as you head out the door in the morning, dry, breezy, and cold with wind chills below 0.
Kyle, thank you. Tonight, people living in a northeast side apartment complex are asking RTV6 for help. As every minute passes by, water in their flooded hallway rises, seeping closer and closer to their apartments. As this happens, their frustration is also building because they can't get anyone to come out to fix the problem.
This water will continue to run. It's already done ran into our apartment.
David Hawkins and his girlfriend Harriet Smith live at Hubbard Gardens near 42nd Street and Sherman Drive.
These apartments are new, so why are we having a problem like this?
They have cardboard boxes, newspaper, and blankets soaking up floodwater coming from the hallway. It's an issue residents have been dealing with for more than a week.
It's feces, water, toilet paper, grease. Who wants to come home like that? And then we got horrible floors on the inside. So that means that when you come home and you walk in this hallway, you trucking it into your house.
The drainage system is also backing up inside apartments.
When I came home Friday morning, my apartment was full of feces from where the drain had backed up.
Maintenance crews did clean up Hawkins' apartment, and they were out earlier in the week to look at the issue causing the flooded hallway. But residents say it's not fixed. As water continues to spread, they can't get in touch with anyone.
There ain't no emergency maintenance that you can call to have them to come over here and fix it to get something done.
Today, they even called the fire department because water is coming from the electrical room.
Electricity and water, that don't mix. That don't mix. So if you hear a hissing sound in there, you don't know what might happen. It might blow up, catch on fire, anything. That's why the fire department came out here. And they said this is a hot mess.
Hawkins is especially worried about his girlfriend. Due to the water, she can't access the wheelchair ramp. She needs to get out of the building.
You can't just have people live like this, no matter if they're upper income, middle income, or what. Nobody should have to live like this.
Tonight, we have placed calls and emails into the apartment complex and their management company. The residents we talked to worry the issue won't get fixed until the office staff returns to work on Tuesday. We will keep pushing for those answers and let you know what happens. If you need help getting answers about an issue that's impacting your family, reach out to us at workingforyou@rtv6.com. A reminder from Indianapolis Animal Care Services, according to city ordinance, you must bring your pets inside when it drops below 20 degrees. Even when it's between 20 and 40 degrees, animals left outside need warm bedding and shelter. IACS crews are out checking for animals left out in the cold.
They don't want to pick up your animal. We don't want to bring them to an overcrowded shelter, so we really want people to do the right thing and bring their pet inside.
The IACS shelter is already over capacity, so it will be a struggle to bring in more animals. That's why they are launching a new initiative to help owners care for their pets so they don't have to surrender them. RTV6's Alyssa Donovan shows you how the program works and why it's so necessary.
Indianapolis Animal Care Services is so overcrowded right now that they actually have to have kennels in the hallways to accommodate all the dogs in the building. That's one of the reasons they're starting a new campaign to help keep animals in their owners' homes.
We are getting a kitten, actually that little guy right there, and then we're getting an adult cat that's 2 years old.
China Garcia and her family drove all the way from Seymour to adopt 2 cats from IACS.
We have animal controls and shelters near where we live, but I felt like this was the better option since they're so overcrowded.
A message that resonated with Raymond Samples, too.
We saw that they were overcrowded with all the dogs here, and we thought it's no better time to come to an adopt, help relieve some of the stress in here, get some animals some good homes.
We are constantly dealing with space issues. We've taken in over 300 animals since last Saturday, and we've only had about 75 adoptions.
Which is why, along with free adoptions, IACS is also starting their No Place Like Home campaign, scheduling appointments with people who are considering surrendering their pets to the shelter and discussing with them other options and resources.
We can provide basic things like food and crates to, avoid behavior issues or sometimes spay-neuter.
The goal is to help owners keep their pets if possible, providing more space for animals that need to be at the shelter. So while families like the Garcias are making a huge difference, the hope is that combining adoptions with the No Place Like Home initiative will keep the shelter from overcrowding and keep pets in their forever homes. I'm Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. Indianapolis Animal Care Services is open tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. The shelter is at 2600 Harding Street. Right now, adoption fees are waived in order to free up as much space as possible. Fire officials in Columbus say a smoke detector saved a man from this fire that destroyed his home. The fire began in the home's basement early this morning. The smoke alarm woke up the only person inside, and he was able to get out with his pets. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. The legislative session is underway at the State House, and RTV6 is keeping track of the proposed laws that are stirring up controversy and could impact your life. A bill filed in the Indiana House of Representatives would get rid of the so-called pink tax. That's a term for the sales tax as it applies to feminine hygiene products like pads and tampons. Access to those products is an issue we've shared with you several times over the last few months. Local groups are working to make sure girls and young women have the feminine hygiene products they need while in school so they can stay healthy and focus on studying. Another bill would get rid of the sales tax on diapers. And finally, another bill would provide driving cards to let people legally get behind the wheel in the Hoosier State, even if they're in the country illegally. Right now, you need proof of legal status to get an Indiana driver's license. Supporters say driving cards would make the road safer for all Hoosiers. And for the third year in a row, a representative from Goshen has introduced a bill that would ban abortion in Indiana. Abortion is legal at the federal level, but House Bill 1089 would make it illegal here. It also includes a change in the definition of a human being so that under state law, life begins at conception rather than birth. The 4th annual Women's March took place today across the country and around the world. More than 250 demonstrations were planned in the U.S. The Women's March began 4 years ago. Thousands of women marched for the women's rights in the wake of President Donald Trump's inauguration. The rallies have since transformed into a movement to elect more women to public office. On Tuesday, President Trump's impeachment trial will officially begin in the Senate. Tonight, House Democrats laid out their arguments, and the White House is now responding. ABC's Mona Kosar-Abdi reports from Washington, D.C.
The White House on the attack ahead of the Senate trial. In a legal brief summarizing their case, House Democrats say the president, quote, abandoned his oath to faithfully execute the laws and betrayed public trust.
President Trump thus warrants impeachment and trial, removal from office, and disqualification to hold and enjoy any office of honor, trust, or profit under the United States.
Now the White House calling the articles of impeachment, quote, a dangerous attack on the right of the American people to freely choose their president and a brazen and unlawful attempt to overturn the results of the 2016 election. The House Judiciary Committee also releasing new documents showing frequent contact between an associate of Rudy Giuliani, Lev Parnas, and Derek Harvey, an aide to Congressman Devin Nunes. Nunes was the ranking Republican during last year's impeachment hearings and a vocal supporter of the president. Parnas, who's accused of violating campaign finance laws, told MSNBC Nunes was fully aware of the effort to push Ukraine to dig up dirt on the Bidens.
It's scary because, you know, he was sitting there and making all these statements and all that when he knew very well that he knew what was going on.
President Trump, in the meantime, adding former independent counsel Kenneth Starr and former Harvard Law professor Alan Dershowitz to his legal team ahead of the trial.
I'm an advocate, not a witness, and I'm advocating against impeachment.
Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has yet to detail rules for the trial, but the odds are stacked against the Democrats in the Senate. Republicans control more than half the seats, and unless 4 members of the GOP break ranks, there may not even be any additional witnesses. Mona Kosar-Abdi, ABC News, Washington.
Mona, thank you. President Trump's trial brief is due on Monday, and the House will release its rebuttal Tuesday. The Senate trial is set to begin at 1 p.m. on Tuesday. Still ahead on the news at 11, supplies that might have saved lives after Hurricane Maria found unused in a warehouse in Puerto Rico. Now a top official is off the job. But first, kids get to be superheroes at a unique event in Greenwood. Kyle.
And we've got the coldest temperatures of the season so far moving in tonight. Many areas are going to be in the single digits as you head out the door early on Sunday. I'll let you know how long this cold blast is going to stick around. You're watching RTV6 News at 11.
Toyota, let's go places.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
A night of fun for kids and their families at the Greenwood Community Center. Tonight's Superhero Saturday event was all about providing a safe and comfortable space for kids with autism. Hosted by Centria Autism, kids got to meet some of their favorite superheroes, solve puzzles, and tackle a superhero training course. Sensory stations were also available for kids who wanted to take a break from all the action.
Kids grow up wanting to be superheroes and be somebody that can do cool stuff. So we wanted to give kids an opportunity to interact with other superheroes and feel like they can do anything.
Centria Autism helps parents navigate through the system of insurance and care for their children. The company has been hosting autism activity days since 2016, but this was their first in Indiana. A little bit of Hollywood in Indianapolis tonight as the Indiana Black Expo honored hundreds of volunteers. Tonight's Oscar-themed party at the new IBE headquarters kicked off the Expo's 50th anniversary celebration. Volunteers got to see their names on the IBE Walk of Fame. Attendees walked a red carpet while students from IBE's Performing Arts Academy acted as paparazzi.
We realized over 50 years, we're a staff of 12. We have more than 450 volunteers, and we realized that we would not be able to carry out the mission of Indiana Black Expo without our volunteers. It's really a volunteer-based organization, and so tonight is to say you are the star. We honor you, we appreciate you, and we're here tonight to serve you and just let you know how much you mean to us.
For all of its events throughout the year, including its summer celebration, IBE has a staff of 12, but a volunteer force of about 450 people. Puerto Rico's governor has fired the island's director of emergency management after a warehouse was found filled with supplies dating back to Hurricane Maria. Video shows thousands of cases of water, food, baby formula, tarps, and other items that are believed to be from 2017 when the storm hit Puerto Rico. Hurricane Maria left close to 3,000 people dead and caused major food and water shortages in Puerto Rico. The governor has given officials 48 hours to investigate why the supplies never made it to the people who needed them. Canada had to call in its army to help people living on the country's east coast dig out following a massive blizzard. The storm dumped as much as 30 inches of snow on Newfoundland. Meanwhile, in the U.S., tens of millions of people are dealing with dangerous winter weather. Meredith Wood has more.
Snow, freezing rain, and icy roads. Parts of the Midwest have been dealing with blizzard-like conditions. High wind gusts and blowing snow have wreaked havoc in parts of the Dakotas, Minnesota, and Iowa. In Wisconsin, salt trucks and snowplows working around the clock since Friday to keep roads safe.
Something to love and hate about Wisconsin. You got to deal with all the elements.
Icy conditions led Kansas City International Airport to close temporarily on Friday after a plane slid off the runway while taxiing. Everyone got off that plane safely. Across the Midwest, authorities urged residents to stay off the roads. This shocking video, released by the Iowa State Patrol, drove that point home. A pickup truck slid off the icy highway and slammed into a delivery truck. Luckily, no one was hurt in the accident. The Midwest is expected to see a break in the snow by Saturday night, but parts could be left with a foot of it. Sunday could bring headaches to travelers in New York and Boston. 2 to 4 inches of snow are expected this weekend. Delayed flights and dangerous icy roads are possible. I'm Meredith Wood reporting.
Meredith, thank you. Seeing all that snow, Kyle. I'm thankful we don't have that here, but man, walking outside is sure is very cold.
A big change, and not only over the last couple of hours, but we haven't been accustomed to this all season long so far. From the it could be worse files, look at this, 27 below zero. Tomorrow is the anniversary of the coldest temperature ever recorded in Indianapolis. That happened in 1994. So that is extreme cold. We're still very cold, but we're not going to get to those levels. Right now, our temperature is 22, 17 for you in Kokomo, and we've got that temperature that's in the middle 20s in Bloomington. Few flurries, isolated snow showers out there. Again, it's not going to add up to anything for us, but those breezes continue out of the west, and that's giving us those wind chills that have dropped below zero in Lafayette and Peru right now. It feels like 4 below, feels like 5 above in Indy and 18 above in Columbus. But everyone, as we get into tomorrow morning, will see those wind chills dropping below zero, even negative 11 in Lafayette. As we go through the day, not a whole lot of improvement here. Those single-digit wind chills into the afternoon feel like 2 for you in Greencastle, Fishers, and Indy, around 3 above zero. Here's a look at satellite and radar, and you can see again a few of those flurries and snow showers scooting through as we wring out any available moisture in this very cold air mass. We'll be dry by tomorrow morning. Still going to have quite a bit of cloud cover though as we go throughout our Sunday, but it's going to be dry, just still going to be a breezy day for us. I think we'll have some of those gusts still around 30 miles per hour as we go through the afternoon. Here's a look at temperatures. Not going to warm not going to warm there at all. Temperature 14 degrees at noon. We'll get into the upper teens for your afternoon high. So we've had several days that have been 20 degrees above average. Tomorrow's going to be one of those where we have numbers 20 degrees below average. 16 for the high in Frankfort and Kokomo, 18 in Indy, 21 in Shelbyville, and those lower 20s as we work our way from Bedford into Seymour at 23 degrees. Here's a look at TrueCast Friday morning. So it's going to be pretty quiet while it's this cold. We start to warm things up a little bit, and Friday's our next chance for some rain. Looks like as some colder air comes in on the backside of this system once again, going into Saturday, could have a little bit of a rain-snow mix before that all moves out and comes to an end, but several days to watch that system. Here's your 7-day planning forecast now. We've got those temperatures that are going to make their way into the 30s by Tuesday afternoon, so a few days of very cold temperatures here, close to 40 on Wednesday. We'll be into the middle 40s Thursday and Friday with that system as we head into next weekend.
I am not looking forward to tomorrow.
No, going to need to layer up and just stay inside if you can.
Good advice. Thank you, Kyle. Well, Kokomo police are searching for 2 people who say they robbed a gas station at gunpoint overnight. Police say these security camera images of the suspects were recorded around 2:30 a.m. at the Lucky Mart on East Center Road. Investigators say they took cash and a cell phone from the clerk there at the store. No one was hurt. If you recognize the suspects, get in touch with Kokomo police or reach out to Crime Stoppers. An announcement from Buckingham Palace is getting attention around the world. Prince Harry and his wife Meghan are giving up their senior role in the royal family. ABC's Lama Hassan shows you what this move means for the United Kingdom and the family's future.
Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, will no longer be working members of the royal family. The announcement from Buckingham Palace coming just 10 days after that surprising public declaration from Prince Harry that the couple was seeking a change in their roles.
One of the things about Harry over the years is that he's always someone who's been very open, and I don't think he's ever been particularly good at hiding his true feelings, which is one of the reasons that people have really warmed to him.
As part of the deal, Harry and Meghan will remain part of the royal family and can attend functions at the Queen's invitation. They'll still be known as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, but will no longer use the titles of Royal Highness, though Harry will remain a prince. The couple will spend the majority of their time in North America. Frogmore Cottage will remain their home in the UK, but the couple will pay rent and repay the money used to renovate it. The Prince of Wales will also continue to financially support the couple, but Prince Harry will lose his military titles. In her statement today, the Queen acknowledging, quote, the challenges the couple has experienced as a result of intense scrutiny. Meghan opening up about those challenges in an interview with close friend and British journalist Tom Bradby, who interviewed the couple for a documentary on their African tour last October.
I really tried to adopt this British sensibility of a stiff upper lip.
It has its, it has its advantages, I guess.
I really tried.
The Queen saying the whole family now hoping today's agreement, which takes effect this spring, allows the couple to, quote, start building a happy and peaceful new life. Palace sources say the arrangement will be reviewed by the royal family in a year. Harry is sixth in line to the throne and will continue to attend big family events like the Queen's elaborate birthday celebrations. Lama Hassan, ABC News, outside Buckingham Palace.
Lama, thank you. If a new job is on your agenda for 2020, but you don't know where to start, Hiring Hoosiers has you covered. Up next, some of the ways to stand out from the crowd when you're applying for a new position.
The budget stretches further at Mattress Firm.
RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers is connecting you to job openings, career resources, and training opportunities that can change your life. This might be the year you've decided to switch jobs or get back into the workforce. Annie Taylor is breaking down advice from hundreds of hiring managers to help you beat the competition when applying for a job.
2020 might be the time to jump jobs or dive back into the workforce.
I mean, the job market continues to be robust really across the whole country.
George Denlinger with Robert Half says over the last decade, the application process has changed. First, if you haven't updated your resume in a while or are starting over, a new survey by Account Temp spoke with over 24 hiring managers nationwide, and they all agreed. Keep your modern resume straightforward, no caricatures or colored ink. As for a cover letter, George says, have one.
A lot of larger companies are using AI to kind of sort through resumes these days.
A cover letter goes directly to the hiring manager.
It also can represent a little bit around your writing style and who you are, and kind of help to distinguish you that way as well.
As for social media, George says you should use it to reach out to potential managers and coworkers.
Whether it's LinkedIn or other social media platforms, to reach out to either people that are in the company that you're interested in or directly to the manager. That's absolutely permitted these days.
For future coworkers, just introduce yourself and ask about the position. That's right, don't be afraid to put yourself out there and show you're interested. When it comes to finally landing that job, remember, it's not just about hard job skills you bring to the table.
Almost all the time when I talk to managers, it starts with the soft skills. Can they interact well in my environment? Do they have good communication skills? Do they fit our culture and our company?
I'm Annie Taylor reporting.
Annie, thank you. In a tight job market, college grads can have a tough time getting hired, and now there's a new obstacle. Career counselors are preparing students for artificial intelligence interviews. An outside company called HireView helps businesses deal with an influx of applicants using an algorithm. A hiring manager can record a set of questions that candidates answer with a video. The AI system then picks the applicants with the best answers, so the manager has fewer interviews to conduct. Right now, this method has only been seen for internships and entry-level jobs. For a look at job openings and training programs available right now here in Central Indiana, head over to our website, hiringhoosiers.com. We'll be right back.
It's a Monday only at Ashley Home Store.
All right, we haven't needed the layers all that much this winter, but you're going to need them tomorrow. 18 will be the high, but it will be breezy, and then we gradually warm things up as the week goes along.
All right, Kyle, thank you. Bundle up tomorrow. Thanks for joining us here. Have a great night.